moving on to the third part of the session today, which is, we're going to have Kabir, Grinshina, and Bharat has also joined us. The three of them are going to share. So, the idea is that nutrition is a very vast topic, and it's also very, very unique and very personal. So you can have all these, you can have a lot of information which will be given to you. You can have a proper chart made for you. But finally, what you implement, each of you has to actually develop your own strategy for how you're going to fuel yourself during the races. And like it has been stressed over and over again, everything tried and tested during your training, everything monitored to see how it is affecting you during your training. You have to keep tabs on it so that the trial and error is also very guided, and then only you'll be able to evolve something for yourself. So the thing is that we've asked Kabir, Grini, and Bharat to share what they have, because they have already, all of them have successfully done long races, long brevets, self-supported and RQ supported with a crew. So, we'll get a little feedback from the three of them on what they have actually done, not done. They're going to share their experiences. Thank you, all three of you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
I hope that the session with Namrata was useful for y'all also.
Very useful.
Yeah. So, Grini, can we start with you?
Sure. My experience is mostly from the brevets and non-supported events.
Right. I'll just briefly introduce you to everyone because it's the first time that you're meeting this group. So Grinshina is one of India's most elite randonneurs. She's the only woman who has done a 2020-kilometer Audax event in Thailand. And this year, 6 months back, she did the Ultraspice 1200-kilometer race. And she's also doing a lot. She's not just doing endurance. She does a lot of other shorter, faster races as well. I think you did Gateway to Gateway from
India Gate to Gateway of India.
Right. Also
right,
in December or something. So very, very accomplished, and a lot of it has been brevet and Audax style. So that would help the self-supported people a lot. Thanks, Grini.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the introduction, Divya. Yeah. So how do you want me to go about it?
If you could share your journey from how you evolved your nutrition over the years since you started doing brevets, from your first few brevets to what you've evolved now on your longer rides, and what works basically, and also for sure what doesn't work at all.
Sure. So when I came into cycling a couple of years back, like 3 years back is when I came into long distance cycling. I used to be on the ketogenic diet. So I used to be in a fat burning mode, and I used to be very, very strict with my diet. Like keto is a little extreme. You cannot really do long distance with keto. So that is how I entered cycling. And over a period of time, I realized that it's not sustainable for long distance events. But having said that, keto endurance riding on ketogenic diet is really good because you're in fat burning mode and you can go for hours to hours, without end, without eating food. Your fat burning is there in your body, so it just uses that fuel and goes on. So that's how it started. But then I shifted to a more carb mode because when I started riding faster, because in endurance on fat burning mode, you cannot go that fast. So you need carbs to go, improve your speed and stuff like that. So I shifted to a more carb dependent diet, and I found fruits, especially fruits like bananas, grapes and stuff like that, which helped me a lot. So my typical way of riding is like for 200 to 300 kilometers, I don't need like heavy solid foods. So I ride on bananas and electrolytes. So that's my strategy for short distance rides. Then longer than that, I stick to solid foods. Like real foods, which is like anything I get on the road, unsupported unsupported rides. So I have sort of built my system uh, to depend on what is available. So if I'm riding in Thailand, I am fine with eating the Thai bowl of some protein, chicken with noodles and a lot of liquid in it. So that's very nourishing on the run. In India, whatever I get on the road in South India, like any rice related items. In the north, you get like more of chapatis and stuff like that. So I adjust to that and fuel, but I cannot like eat too much because I'm very carb sensitive. So I eat little bit and continue. And what I do is I carry some aluminum foil and put that extra food, put it in my jersey pocket, carry it like that. So that's how it's evolved. But on a typical ride, to just give an example, when I start, I have a PBJ, peanut butter jelly sandwich, white bread, quick sugars. I eat that and carry some extra with me in my jersey. And that's how I go for a long ride. So maybe like in a 300, 400 kilometer ride, especially in this COVID situation, I like to carry some food with me. So I carry that with fruits. I don't typically use synthetic food, but like gels and all that. And that's how I go about it. And yeah, like for me, I think about every 40 to 50 minutes is when I need to check on my glucose intake, carb intake. And then I sweat a lot. So my electrolyte intake is very high.
Yeah, thanks, Rini. That's a good point that you made, that being adaptable to different kinds of food in different places. So you conditioned your body to be able to do that. Yeah, Ravi, you had a question for Grini?
Hey, hi, Granny. Nice to see you
Hi.
after G2G, right?
Nice, same here, Ravi.
Uh, would you like to explain what were you taking during this G2G ride that every day you are reaching before us? I was still wondering what you were having in during the ride.
North Indian food. Well, it's the typical dhaba food that we were getting like everywhere. I think there was one occasion where we had like a lot of chicken and all that. But apart from that, it was like parathas on the road.
Yeah. What did you, how about in the Ultra Spice? Did you enjoy the food on the route?
I Ultra Spice, not so much. The food was like I'm used to the South Indian food. It was not something different from what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Ultra Spice, I only had issues with the heat. So my issue is typically with the heat. I cannot once the heat hits me, I cannot eat anything. My body can't process food. So
Yeah.
that's what I struggle with. So with food, I don't have much problem because I've seasoned myself to eat and drink anything on the road. So I don't carry bottled water. I don't buy bottled water. I tried anywhere in the world. I will drink what is there on the dhaba, that jug. I refill my bottles with that water. So even in France, I didn't have during PBP, I didn't have issues with that long, hard baguette bread. I put it in my back pocket and I carried it with me. So yeah, and that has happened over a period of time. So like couple of years back, I used to live in the US, and when I came back to India, I used to just fall sick. Just even I used to go for a long run to Lalbagh, and if I drink water outside, I used to come back with diarrhea for 5 days. So
God.
I've slowly built my immunity so that I can withstand stuff like that. I want to really explore the world. So for me, ultra riding and racing is a very interesting aspect, but also I want to experience the culture of the place where I am going through. I don't want to just flashed by and let it go past me. Like in Thailand, there was this huge temple festival that was happening while we were riding through it. So we stopped there and we ate a lot of local stuff from there during the
Yes.
race. So that those are the kind of things which I cherish. I
Yeah.
really enjoy doing that.
Lovely. That sounds like fun. I just remembered that you did one more ride, which was from the west to east, right?
Yes,
A couple
yes.
of years back.
From 2 years back, from Gujarat to Assam, Kutch
The
to Kamrup. Yeah,
the food
3,000
must have there
kilometers.
must have been wonderful diversity in the food on that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was a part of India which I had not experienced. So it was an incredible experience. It was really nice.
Super, super. I think Kapil has a question.
Yeah, hi Greeny. Actually, it's
Hi.
not a question. It was a incident related to Greeny. I wanted to hear interact with Greeny because we didn't interacted with Greeny because it was a staggered finish in the Ultra
Ah,
Spice. So it was like second day incident when I was returning from Madikeri point and I had done that Madikeri wala uh,
control
that
point.
climb and she was heading to Madikeri in the night. I think it was 10:30 or 11 type of it was like midnight, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was yeah, I was having dinner at that point, some stuff. So we are on the lights, and she was heading out. She was just wave hands, and she asked, "What happened to you? Do you need any help?" So it was it was like a positive and inspiring gesture we had that a unsupported rider was asking for was offering help to RQ which is having all the support in the car. Yeah.
I'm like hallucinating and asking, I think.
Oh,
And
that's
my
lovely.
whole crew was uh, here to see that positive gesture.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank
that.
you.
That's
Happy
lovely. That's
sharing.
nice to hear that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Kapil, for sharing that. Yeah, thanks a lot, Grini. I think that's a good takeaway for a lot of the people, especially self-supported, that just get condition yourself to be able to have whatever you find on the roads, because that's what's going to allow you to fuel yourself throughout the event. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Grinshina. Shall we move on to Bharat? Would you like to share your stories of how you have fueled your events?
Hi Divya, and good evening, everyone. And am I audible? Clear?
Yep.
Yeah, great. So I've uh, there are like two mantras which I work on, and these are the crux. I don't have any big stories to tell because there are so many stories with me, and I'll just share the crux. And the crux is eat before you feel hungry always, and drink water. Hydrate yourself with electrolytes, even if before you feel thirsty. And there's one more thing which I've learned over a period of time and implemented in all my rides, and that has helped me tremendously. That is, you have to plan your as you plan a strategy for the complete event. So you have to have a strategy for your uh, food as well.
Yeah. Sorry, Bharat. I think we lost you a little bit.
That
Bharat, we're not able to hear you. Just 1 minute. I'll just check with him on the phone what's the issue. Um, yeah, sorry, is it my connection or?
No,
It's
I
Bharat's
think
connection.
we are not able to hear him.
Bharat, hi Bharat, we lost you for the last couple of minutes, so if you could just repeat that. No.
I think Bharat don't want to share what we call it, the proper things, and
Well, I mean, it's a race, this is a
yeah,
competition.
so he's keeping it secret.
Okay, I'll just wait for him to join in. Kabir, why don't you share till then?
Yeah. So the basic thing which I follow is the calorie intake, because you usually burn like 500 to 600 calories. Somebody was saying that 1000 calories, that is mostly impossible. You have to check with your heart rate monitor and all. If you go high intense, that you might burn like 750 to 800 calories. That is also like you are putting it your best for an hour. So that should be the something like heart rate monitor must be the reason about it, which is not showing you the accurate number. But usually you burn around 450 to 500 calories while racing like intensely in Deccan Cliffhanger or anything like that. So you have to keep a tab on your calorie intake. I usually intake minimum 350 calories, because if I don't intake that much of calories, I'll feel drained after the like 12 hour or 13 hours. So you have to keep having like 350 to 400 calories per hour. That is the most win-win thing for you. Then you have to give the electrolytes, which already Namrata told that why these things are important to your body and all. Second thing is, you can do a test of like vitamin D6, like vitamin B12, and like these two tests. I guess you should do it, because a lot of people have deficiency in vitamin D and vitamin B12. So these two nutrients are most important for your endurance performance. If you lack in vitamin D and vitamin B12, you will not survive for these kind of races. Even if you complete the race, you will be like, बहुत थक गया, नहीं हो पा रहा था and all. So these two supplements will make a huge difference. Go do the test, you will get the result. I can give you in writing that यहाँ पे जितने भी लोग हैं 90% will have the deficiency in vitamin D6. It is a myth that we ride in the sun, so हमारे में vitamin D तो काफी ज्यादा होगा, but we Asians don't have that element which converts the sunlight into the vitamin D6. So that is most important. I do cap on vitamin D, vitamin B12, B complex ka tablet I do have while riding, because vitamin B, like all the vitamins which are like B6 plays an important role in cramps. If you have deficiency of vitamin B6, you will get a lot of cramps. So it's better to have a B complex tablet twice a day while racing, and even you can get the tablet like on the daily basis, because it makes your functioning of your body will be good after all the vitamin B intakes. Then I do eat solid foods like twice in a day while racing Deccan Cliffhanger and these kind of races, while Himalayan Ultra. But I do eat lot of solid food while doing Ultra Spice, while doing RAM. Like I did only once, but I did eat a lot of solid food, because proper functioning and proper stomach का work process होने के लिए we do need that solid food also. So in these kind of cases you can have solid food like lunch के time पे थोड़ा सा, and रात के dinner के time पे थोड़ा सा, like a proper roll or something, any kind of that. In races like Ultra Spice and all, when we get a sleep break, like 3 hour sleep break or 2 hour sleep break, I do eat moong dal khichdi. Very good thing to recover your meals properly, and he always plays a very good role in your daily nutrition also. So I do eat these things. I do take BCAA. I do take glutamine before sleeping. I do take glutamine before sleeping. I do have BCAA while riding. So yeah, after ride also I do take protein shakes and all, and yeah, these kind of things. So most of the things Namrata has covered, but if anyone has specific, I can do answer. But the simple thing is the 100 calories. So that is the main thing. Then you need nutrients, electrolytes, and the other sources like D6, B12, B6, these kind of supplements.
Okay. Thanks, Kabir.
Yep.
Maybe we can, Bharat is back again. What we can do is let's hear the rest of what Bharat had to input, and then we can do some open question answers. Yeah? Yeah, Bharat.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
it's right.
lost you. I think you kept talking and we lost what you said for the last couple of minutes. So if you could just go back to that.
Yes, I'm sorry that Wi-Fi had gone bad, and I just had to restart it. So just continuing, I was saying that we plan for our race, we have to plan for our food as well, and we know a lot of things about our nutrition, that we have to eat this, that, and whatnot. And people are aware that they have to use gels and a lot of supplements and all things. So we have to plan our food in a way that we get the maximum energy when we require it. So I've seen athletes. So as I know for myself, I make use of gels only when I need a burst of energy. So I use them whenever I'm climbing. I use them whenever the race is about to finish, or I use anything which gives me more energy at that point of time when I use it, when I need it the most. Because if I use it continuously for a long period of time, for say continuous race for 2 days, 3 days, so when I need it the most, it will not give me that kick. So we have to take into consideration all these aspects. As I plan for my race, I need to plan for my nutrition also. So people take gels which are containing caffeine for the day as well. So if you are having caffeine for the day, then how will you have a sleepless night and ride whatever amount of caffeine you take at night? It will not help you, because you have already taken so much of caffeine in daytime that you will not have any benefit when it is the night time. So it is just an example which I am sharing with you. There are a hell lot of things which go into nutrition. So it is a complete science in itself. And a 5 minutes talk or 10 minutes talk from my side will not be able to give a complete insight which I have learned over a long period of time of racing. So this was just an example which people just omit while planning their nutrition. And I can say it with conviction: if you plan your nutrition well, you will definitely have a positive effect on your race as well, because the race is not always physical. The race is not always training. It is strategy, it is nutrition, it is the mental game. So a lot of things goes into racing.
Okay, thanks Bharat. Yeah, what did you, I'm just curious that when you did the Guinness World Record, the golden quadrilateral, so was a lot of it was on real food along the way?
Yes, it was unlike most of the time when I'm racing, because Guinness record was Wala attempt was not a race sort of thing for me. And I was enjoying the delicacies of complete India in that event. Otherwise, in my racing, when I do ultra spice or any other race which I do, so I'm mostly on liquid diet and avoid solid food. But over a period of time, I've realized that small amount of solid food is always gives you a morale booster. I have always taken solid food as well, but the quantity was really less. But now I have started taking solid food in bit and more quantity, because of late I have been doing self-supported races. In 2019, I did my last race, which was a supported race. After that, either it had been Guinness records or self-supported races.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, Bharat. Thank you. Thanks, Kabir and Grini. I'll just open it up for any questions that you have from the three of them. You can just raise your hands or start with your question. No question. I think today has been,
I have one question.
yeah.
I'm Amol from Nagpur. Actually, we talk a lot about nutrition, but I always hear like mind is the game of ultra cycling or whatever the events. So how you both Kabir and Bharat, you are so cool every time. Could you just tell me about that thing?
So
Kabir
I
is more
have,
cool than me.
because I have a better.
That's not competition.
Yeah. So not, we can't say that cool thing, but we have lot of people who handles everything for us, so we can ride freely. So find a good crew, then you can also like ride coolly while doing the races. So it's all about your crew. If you have like 10 to 8 people who are running behind you and doing everything for you, then it's easy to ride. So it's all about crew.
Bharat will have a different opinion on that.
I
Bharat is cooler when he's self-supported than when he has his crew.
I'm actually actively looking for a crew because I want to start doing supported races. So I'm curious to figure out like how do you arrive upon the ideal crew? You know, I mean it's a whole lot of different discussion, but it's
Yeah. So
something that I'm curious.
ideal crew is like who knows you in and out, who
Yeah,
stays with you like
in
most
your
of the
worst
time.
moments.
Yeah. So Sapna, I stay with Sapna, so she knows everything about me. Like what do I eat, what do I do, what do I like the most in eating, how my mood goes along and everything. And I do have like 4 or 5 close friends who know me. So you need some few of them जो आपको properly अच्छे से जानते हैं, and you can rely upon them. They must be जुगाड़ू, so you should not be worrying about कि अरे ये हुआ तो क्या करेंगे. I know my guys कि Ratnadeep and Tushar, if हमारा गाड़ी रास्ते में बंद भी हुआ, they will like kidnap someone and they will get their car and they will say कि हम लोग रेस करने के बाद आपको गाड़ी लाके देंगे. So yeah, you need to find such people who can do anything for you. So
So,
that
yeah, I can share. I have some resource material that's been created on the website
Yeah.
for how to select the crew. I'll
Yeah.
share those links with you.
Good.
And 2 weeks from now, we have a dedicated session on which is going to be conducted by Kabir's crew chief, actually. Crew chief and Rutvik Khare, who's also got a vast amount of crewing experience. So they're actually, I'll send you a link and invite you to attend that session as well.
Sure. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. So Bharat, we're waiting to hear from you. What keeps you cool?
So it is the amount of plan. Again, it comes down to the planning. So you can avoid troubleshooting when you are already aware if this is the problem, what will be the solution for this. So there will be unforeseen problems definitely, but the mind will be much cooler in that condition when you are already set for facing a lot of problems which you have already forecasted, and you know the solution and you have the backups ready for them. So if I consider the one of the event which was the virtual race across America, the amount of planning which went into that event was Herculean. Like we had backups, we have we had multiple backups for each and everything. There was a backup for electrical backup inverter, and there was a backup for that inverter also. So and that there were like different set of inverter for different electronics. So a trainer had a different inverter. All the like it was so deep in planning, and we had multiple cylinders, we had multiple gas stoves. So like it was a lot of planning which had gone, and there is no end to it. But still, there will be some unforeseen conditions. but you will be much cooler because you are already anticipated and you know what will be the solution for at least 95% of the problems.
True, true. Thanks. I think that's a good point. That even where, what Kabir said, and both the things are basically the similar in the sense that Kabir has also put in a lot of effort into, the plan. It's basically the planning that his crew is there to take care of these things, and that effort has gone into the race well before you get to the start line. And similarly, what Bharat said, that if you're doing a ride without a crew, also just visualizing every step of the way what you could face and preparing yourself mentally for it will help you to be able to face whatever obstacles come up.
And of course, whenever we see a photographer like Boni and all, we make good faces, so we look more cooler. Usually we suffer a lot, but for photos we look cooler.
Yep.
There was Divya. I want to add one thing for the question that Greeny asked, and hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was Greeny was asking about selecting crew. So as Kabir told that yes, he was lucky that he is lucky that his sister is always there with him and his close friends are there. But in my case, none of my crew member is my childhood friend. None of my family member is ever had in my crew. All of them, like the person who has been associated with me is Darshan Dubey. That is the oldest, and he's just 4.5 years old. So I met him in 2017, 2016 December or November. So my crew is I know these people who are just as young as like 1.5 years old. There are two latest additions in my crew whom I know only 5 months back. So it is a ongoing process and a lot of iterations. So there are like multiple level of interviewing, getting to know that person, and they getting to know us before even the race starts. We don't take chance that the race starts and we get to know each other. So a lot of interviews, we call them interviews, but it is a formal interaction, which is very serious, which is very much focused. We get the mind of the new member so much grilled that he understands that he is really going for some serious business. It's not a joke.
Right.
So people understand that they are going for some serious business, and the person who is in front, the racer, he means business. And that's why he is bestowing his faith on the crew members. Even if they are not your family members or not your childhood friends, but they respond to you in such a way that you never feel that vacuum, that I know these people only just 4 months back, and I'm like letting my decision, like my life is in their hands. They are responsible for my safety and everything.
So can we hope that you will be doing supported race in Himalayan, like 600 kilometers now?
For sure, not this time, but definitely future is always there.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Kabir is hoping to be able to race with you at the Great Himalayan also.
Yeah.
Ultra Spice last 2 years, you all have not been in the same category, so he's missing that.
I know.
He's missing that.
So yeah.
competition.
So that is the problem. My crew is always available. Like, लेके चलो हमको रेस करना है, कुछ तो काम करने दो.
True. Yeah. Okay. So, Chaitanya, you have a question?
Yeah. So I was gonna ask, probably, at least some of us would have faced this. So let's say multiple hours into race due to weather conditions or just purely exhaustion, right? You just don't feel like eating. I think Grini also mentioned that. So in that case, do you just force eat to keep your body going, or like are there other better strategies? Because I'm not aware of how I can fix that.
So,
I do.
sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead. No problem.
No, please.
Okay, so
okay.
I keep in mind that it's for only 24 hours or maybe 50 hours. So you have to just keep eating, because if you don't eat, you might regret it later. So it's better to have it और मे बी आप कोई ऐसा फूड देख सकते हो which you like at any time, any point of time in the race. I do like oranges or I do like banana. So whenever I feel like I don't want to eat anything, I do pick these things. And yeah.
Rini, would you like to share something as well?
Yeah, so I was saying something similar. Food is also like very an emotional aspect, you know. While riding, you want to have things which give you comfort. So and that is that give you, that is also kind of support, you know. So you want to have something that makes you feel happy. So when I cannot eat those kind of solid foods and all, I if there is a coffee day, I will go and have dessert, and I will, and if it's in the night, I will have double espresso shot with you know, those, I forgot what it's called, some kind of a mousse, some dessert, like it's high sugar, but that is what makes me ride like crazy in the night. I feel like really good after having that dessert, and I'll just ride. So that works. There are some times that I cannot even eat a banana while riding in the daytime. So what I do is I carry sugar, plain white sugar with me, and I just, you know, take a lick of that. Basically, I have figured out that my body needs about 4 to 5 grams of sugar. Carbohydrates break down into sugar. That is what I require for every 30 to 40 minutes. So this is over a period of time I figured it out. So that works for me. While doing Everesting, like about 2 months back, I did the full Everesting indoor on RGT. So that time I could not even eat banana after like the 10th, the 13th hour or so. So the last 5 hours I was having only sugar. So, you know, so you'll have to figure out what works for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very individual. So, you'll really have to fine tune and figure out what works for you. Something, if you're going to continue racing and it is a long distance race, you do have to find something that you can intake to be able to keep
Yeah.
going.
So basically, your body can run on two things: fats or glucose. So on, if you are in a keto diet, you can eat fat. You can have butter, you can have MCP oil, you can have cheese, and your body can keep running. Or when you are on sugar burning mode, you can have various kinds of sugars. You can have any carbs: rice, roti, plain sugar, banana, fructose. Those are all the things that break down ultimately into glucose in your body. So you just have to figure out what your body is comfortable with.
Yeah.
Thank you. That
Uh,
makes
I-
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I like to ask Grini one thing because she mentioned about her virtual Everesting. Grini, you don't have supplements. You have your own electrolytes which you make. And I remember
Yes.
you did your virtual Everesting, and immediately in a week's time you did your 6 hours TTT. So
Yeah.
what do you have for your recovery? How do you make it up?
So I eat real foods. So I find that recovery best happens when you eat proteins. So I try to eat a good amount of eggs. I eat like insane amount of non-veg. So I eat eggs every day. I have at least 4 to 5 eggs. So on for my recovery, I immediately, like within 1 hour, I try to eat egg, chicken, fish. These are like the staple. After a ride, it doesn't sit very well. So sometimes I might give it a little longer time also. I try to ease my stomach because, after such a long ride, especially after that Everesting, I was finding it difficult to eat. So I gave it some more time, and then I had protein. And the recovery also, it's not only about the food. I also like massage. I use massage guns to clear up the lactate from the body and all that. So all those also go into recovering.
Mhm. Yeah. Thanks, Rini. I think that there's been a lot of information that we've received today from Namrata, from the three of you, from Piyush also. So I will, upload these videos, go through them again, and take your notes and experiment with your body, the suggestions that have been made, and like I would really suggest doing it in a systematic way, that if you're trying out something new, don't try out 3 different new things in 1 week. If you're trying out one of the suggestions that Namrata has made, you do that one, monitor how that works for you before you try out something new, and so you've got a lot of things to sort of experiment with, but for sure, like, just keep a little diary or something in which you make, you note down what how the effect of things has been on your performance, on your body, on your digestion. Yeah, Chaitanya, you have a question?
Yes, I just have a question for Bharat. Is he doing the Himalayan this year, the unsupported one?
Not sure yet.
Okay, I also have another question. You did the Ultra Spice unsupported ride, right? Like, what was your bike setup in terms? Because I'm planning for the Himalayan, and I'm still figuring out like what should I be carrying. Should I be carrying uh, the saddle bag and the frame bag, or should I just have two bottle holders attached to my seat? I'm still figuring things out. Like, would you sh- share us some information about it?
So for self-supported, I'll just share the gist of it. So I was carrying four bottles with me always, and whenever I was aware that water is available ahead, so I used to fill only 2 bottles, otherwise 4 bottles. Generally, I used to fill 4 bottles just to save time. Second, I was having a top tube bag and a saddle bag and 3 pockets in my jersey. Other than that, I was not carrying anything. In terms of spare, I was carrying 2 tubes. I was carrying CO2 cylinders, uh, chain tool, chain links, magic link, and the multi tool. Other than that, normal spares. So these were like special spares which we generally don't carry. Otherwise, normal spares which always we carry, that also I was carrying. Other than that, I was having dry fruits. I was having energy in which is condensed and which I can like store more food and which can power me for long. Other than that, like I was not carrying rotis or bread, something like that. I was carrying dry fruits. I was carrying dates. I was carrying peanuts. So all these condensed form of energy I was carrying. Other than that, I was having a lot of bananas in my pockets, jersey pockets. Uh, a bike, a pump. Despite having the CO2 cylinders, I was carrying a pump because you always have to have backups. Mm,
Power bank.
yeah, that's all. That's all. And I was very light. I was having my nighttime jersey, which was wrapped in my around my neck, or like Shah Rukh Khan always. So I used to always plan my things so that I'm as light as possible, and I'm always self-sufficient as well. I don't have to look that where is the crew, where is the uh, where other riders are, or I can get any help from them. I've always helped other riders. Touchwood, I was never in a condition that I have to seek any help.
And what?
And one more thing, the tires have to be the best puncture resistant tires, however heavy they are, but you have to have the best tires with you so that you face minimum punctures. So touchwood, in any of the self supported races, I have never faced any puncture till now.
What kind of tires do you use?
I use Continental Four Seasons 28 for my self-supported rides. I never use them in my supported races.
And how big of a saddlebag were you carrying for?
Small, very small. The bare minimum saddlebag which just gets below the saddle, not a big one.
So it is you don't have any extra bags to store food or anything like that?
Nothing. I am the lightest rider possible, despite having everything.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. Thanks, Chaitanya. I think we'll get back on a little more detail about the Great Himalayan. Grishma's just finished her recce. Apparently, things are open, dhabas are open. But we'll continue that on another session. It's been a long session this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Bharat. Thanks,
Yeah.
Grinshina. And Kabir, thank you very much, all three of you, for sharing your this thing. I'll get back with the links later. Okay. Bye. Good
Pleasure,
night.
Divya.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Thanks, Divya. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.